Can the amount of fat tissue that we accumulate on that, does it matter? It does, whether you're skinny or ectomorph or mesomorph. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you have a chance to keep that body fat down, and we should.
When we were out on a date just last night, we were looking around at the number of people that were in a room, and actually it appeared that they were either with a spouse or a friend, but the majority of them were on their phone.
Yeah.
And now we're leaking large protein molecules across the gut into the system, and the immune system goes crazy, and it starts to develop these things called antibodies. And these antibodies start attacking tissues. It might be your joints. It might be connective tissue.
Let's go.
People often ask us, how do I understand my metabolic type and how can I live and be healthy with that metabolic type? Well, as we know, people come in all different kinds of shapes and sizes.
No doubt.
Some people are thin, just overly thin. Some people are overly muscular, and
Yeah.
others, boy, they just have an easy capacity to put on that little extra weight without eating a whole lot of anything.
They do. There's different body types that sort of run in familial lineages. You can kind of see this, and some people are more. I think a good way the proper terms are ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph. But really,
Define those.
well, let's see if I can remember. The ectomorph is the big person, right?
The ectomorph is the tall, thin person that
Tall,
can eat
thin.
anything they want
Yeah, there you
and
go.
basically never gain weight.
Endomorph is the big person that
That where
has.
no matter what they eat, they
That's
can
it.
try to diet like crazy and they still gain weight.
The mesomorph is medium size.
And they put on muscle very, very easily, whether they exercise or not.
Well, I look at it, if you want to simplify that, some people have skinny genes, some people have fat genes, and some people have medium genes. And the bottom line is that doesn't make them good or bad. It just makes different shapes of people. Like there are people that have tendencies to be tall and slim and make great basketball players and great basketball families. There's people that are massive and make big football lineman families, or something like that. But we really have to think about, can the amount of fat tissue that we accumulate on that, does it matter? It does, whether you're skinny or ectomorph or mesomorph. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you have a chance to keep that body fat down, and we should.
Well, when we evaluate someone in the clinic, we do a couple really cool things. One is we always look at body composition. It tells us what your body weight is. It tells us how many pounds of muscle you have. It tells us what your body fat percentage is. And then, of course, it tells us what your visceral fat is. And if your organs have fat in them, guess what? It's going to slow your metabolism down. So we have to work at all angles of trying to get that under control. So I think that should be a vital sign in every clinician's office across the country. And we should maybe even have a form of it in every single home so that we're not obsessed with scale weight. We actually understand body composition as a vital sign. We want to make sure we maintain lean mass and that we don't diet or starve it off, because the loss of muscle is frailty and frailty is a disease. So body composition is one way to make sure that you are staying in line with your health long term. Number two is we run genetics. That genetic testing tells us about your metabolic type. Are you a person that needs to be on a low carbohydrate nutritional protocol? Are you one that needs a low fat protocol? Are you one that needs kind of both, like a Mediterranean plan? Each individual genotype requires something just a little bit differently. And then, of course, we have to take the individual into consideration based on what they've been through in their life. So some people need to be very, very careful with all foodstuffs until they get that body composition under control.
Well, it's very interesting what you just said. You didn't talk about weight with that, and I thought that was good because it's not about weight. I've had people that are tall and slim that think they can eat anything they want, and they don't get, but they do get really sick. I was talking to a guy the other day that's just terrible type 2 diabetes, and he's very thin. He was 150 pounds. And I'm like, well, weight has nothing to do with directly with illness. So these metabolic types are good to be aware of in the way you train and the way you eat, etc. But all of them can accumulate belly fat, which is visceral fat. So measuring the right thing is important. Knowing your body type is important, and that sort of goes into the idea of how do you treat the whole person to maximize the health of that person.
That's right. Weight loss is a side effect of wellness. And if we put the right well tips into place, the body composition falls into line. Of course, we've got to eat right. We've got to get the right amount of protein so we don't lose muscle and we don't become frail or weak. And we want to optimize the loss of fat. For example, for every pound you're overweight, it's times 10 on your joints and your vascular system. So if you find yourself a little bit fatigued, perhaps you need to get on a body composition analysis machine. Just because you're tall and you look thin does not mean that you're not sarcopenic obese. So your body composition might still be out of line.
That's true. And, I think people probably right now are going, am I ectomorph, mesomorph, or endomorph? You're kind of right thinking, like, what does that mean? I think the bottom line is, whatever your shape is, realize that you can maximize that shape. And you can't make your shape be any different, but you can be very fit at whatever shape metabolically your body's tendency is.
That's right. And some people are genetically engineered to be able to put on muscle very easy.
Yep.
And others genetically are not. So the ones that are not able to, they might be able to train right, feed the system right, rest the system right, so that they can get to the body composition or the look that they desire.
Well, and my wife and I would be more or less
Mesomorphs.
types, because we can put on muscle and all of that, but we still could be overweight, we can still be underweight. But the bottom line is, your metabolic type is really cool to know that. Kind of understand that. You can see it down through your children. Sometimes parents have kids, more than one. One will have this and one will have that. And you got to watch the comparison factor with that for sure, because it can really mess up somebody. Why can't you be more like your brother? Or why can't you be more like your sister? That's not cool. So knowing all this is very important, but ultimately maximize your health by understanding who you are, how you are, and then treat it right. All right. So there you go. How about that for your metabolic tips?
Excessive screen time and sitting is destroying your brain.
It really is. Stay with us and find out how. If you're suffering from fatigue, if you know you got toxic overload because you're bringing in stuff that's actually inflammatory and toxic, it is time to get some answers. It's time to turn things around. It's time to get your body in a place where it can function again, because toxic buildup can and does and will kill you.
Kingdom Detox and Kingdom Detox packets.
In those are the supporting nutrients, the supporting micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that support all the functions of a whole Kingdom Detox. It also has Kingdom Fuel with it, so you can do a whole 2-week detox process with the detox packs, or you can just take the detox packs. Either way is fine, but it's going to support that process.
So the body's completely nourished. It gets a little bit of rest because it's not having to over-digest, so to speak, and it gets the right nutrients that support those phases.
So we got to get the toxins out and let your body function well again. That's why the Kingdom Detox process works.
I don't know about you, but I have to have that cup of coffee in the morning. And Kingdom Coffee is mold-free, it is pesticide-free, and it is organic. It's got this flavor that is delicious. You don't even have to put cream or sweetener in it.
And it's Kingdom Cup with a K, right? So this is important. 50% of all coffee at least contains mold. And this is a key thing. That's in bean form, right? So you're going to be a little grinder. They're just a few bucks. Grind it up, put it in your maker, and make it. Why did we go with the bean form, the whole bean? Because ultimately the powder form is the one that gathers the most moisture. And that means the more potential mold development. So this is actually organic mold-free certified. It's got a little certificate with it. That's important because ultimately people drink coffee. It's cultural. And so we tried to meet the culture where it is and create a healthy alternative.
Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
Kingdom Candy with a K again. 2 flavors. We got salted
Delicious.
caramel and peanut butter. These are great. I mean, they're
kind of like a complete meal.
yeah, they're 200 calories. People want to know that all the time, and not that we're worried about calories, but these things have great ingredients. They're not sweetened with sugars. They don't have those false sugars or fake sugars, artificial
They've got
sugars.
fiber in them. It's really only 2 grams of sugar. I refer to it as the sweet without the cheat.
Excessive screen time and sitting could be destroying your brain.
I don't think there's a could be about it. I think it is. We've talked about this a lot, the way we're connected in a weird way to electronics. It's said it really diminishes our I think it's our frontal cortex, the one that's supposed to help with reasoning and things like that. And then gray matter goes away. This is not something we're making up. This is a real deal.
It is a real deal. Like when we were out on a date just last night, we were looking around at the number of people that were in a room, and actually it appeared that they were either with a spouse or a friend, but the majority of them were on their phone and not really even interacting with the person that they're with. So I think with all of this screen time, it could be potentially taking down our ability to actually communicate with other humans.
Oh, I think it's definitely taking it down, because it says if we believe that 90-odd% of communication is nonverbal, and that means that less than 10% then would be only verbal, then we're taking 90% of communication away by not having facial conversations with people and seeing expressions and nonverbal communication, and therefore we're doing it with an inanimate object like a machine, or like AI or some kind of text, or just social media. And it's a big deal. I was reading an article recently, it's not related to this, but it does relate, that children are becoming more behavioral disruptive because they're not able to recognize their mom's face anymore, even because of like Botox usage and screen time. And that makes you go, what? But it makes a lot of sense, because if we're supposed to communicate as people, interpersonal communication that is, then our brains aren't going to develop if we don't communicate. The greatest developments that we can have is communication. So if you don't do that, you're going to not develop.
We do know that a lot of work arenas are now requiring us to utilize a computer, and that is a lot of screen time. So perhaps starting the noonday sun, or starting the day out by looking into the sun, is one way we can stimulate the brain with natural light. And then there are, blue blocker glasses, or, glasses that you wear and I wear when we know we have to spend more than 4 or 5 hours sitting in front of a screen.
We need to take all precautions with this one, because I don't know about you, but I think I do, that neither of us want to be obsessively and persistently plugged into a screen. because we're not talking about just the inability to communicate. We're talking about the lack of development of the brain. We're also talking about stress from the blue light that's coming from the screens or from these devices. The blue light stimulating cortisol, that is. So our chronic stress is up there, our dopamine hits up there, and the communication process goes down.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, all bad combinations.
Passive screen time is like eating sugar or, doing cocaine for the brain. There can be a lot of unnecessary stimulation that is going into that brain that isn't really quality or isn't really, building the language, building learning, building human skills, building life skills. It's this passive screen time that's actually negative or derogatory for human outcome.
Oh, it is, because the more we do that, the less we're communicative, right? So I'm a big believer in fasting from social media for a time, and learning how to talk again and learning how to communicate again. I mean, I'm all about sending text messages and emails. That's fine. That makes us be more efficient, I suppose. So the blessing is there, benefit is there. But if that's all we do and don't talk to people, I don't know, man. That seems a little bit odd.
Yeah, we're going to become non-social at some point.
Yep.
So, maybe we want to make a habit of picking up the phone and calling a friend. So those continual communication skills stay in line. Maybe we want to start practicing. A practice of the month is no screen time for the first hour of the day. Oftentimes, even before we roll out of bed, we roll over and look at, Facebook, social media, email, whatever's going on in all of the other social platforms before we even have our cup of coffee.
Yeah, you don't want to miss this or don't miss that. Can't wait to see what I missed, It's not the best. Obviously in these segments, we share a little bit of our life as well, but we're working through it too. As the world changes, we have to change, but we can't let the world change us in a way that we're not supposed to be changed. So this is an area that we need to watch out for. And so we've given you some good tips here. We encourage you to put those things into practice and consideration.
What are autoimmune diseases and what is the best treatment?
Coming up next.
Hey friends, you already know the answer to this, but we'll ask you anyway. If you stay away from your favorite junk food for a month and then go back to supersizing it, will your health improve?
Well, that's the thing about change. To change, we have to be as consistent as possible.
And when we go back to an old habit, it's not the end of the world. We just get back at the new habit.
Before you know it, real transformation is evident to you and others.
That's why we offer a bunch of helpful bonuses when you subscribe to Kingdom Fuel.
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life, and we'll auto ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
Now we have it, Kingdom Crunch.
It's important to start breakfast off with a power-packed punch. You want a complete amino acid score, good protein. If you turn the label over and look at the back of the box, there is no added sugars in either one of these flavors, either peanut butter or acai bowl.
Peanut butter has 11 grams of high-quality protein. Acai bowl has 8. Peanut butter has 11 grams of carbohydrate, acai bowl 12, and both of them have a good solid fat content at 6 grams. Very filling, very healthy.
You will be fueling yourself with high quality fuel, starting off the day right. You can even use Kingdom Crunch as a snack in the middle of the day if you just have a craving and you want to eat something that is good for you, it has a crunch, and doesn't have a lot of calories.
There you go. diabetic friendly, keto friendly, paleo friendly, Kingdom Crunch, and
Child friendly.
if you're suffering from fatigue, if you know you got toxic overload because you're bringing in stuff that's actually inflammatory and toxic, it is time to get some answers. It's time to turn things around. It's time to get your body in a place where it can function again, because toxic buildup can and does and will kill you.
Kingdom Detox and Kingdom Detox packets.
In those are the supporting nutrients, the supporting micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that support all the functions of a whole Kingdom Detox. It also has Kingdom Fuel with it, so you can do a whole 2-week detox process with the detox packs, or you can just take the detox packs. Either way is fine, but it's going to support that process.
So the body's completely nourished. It gets a little bit of rest because it's not having to over digest, so to speak, and it gets the right nutrients that support those phases.
So we got to get the toxins out and let your body function well again. And that's why the Kingdom Detox process works. Since the early 80s, I know some of you are like, man, that seems like ages ago. No, I'm talking 40 years ago. There's been a drastic, rapid, exponential rise in a class of disease processes that are known as autoimmune diseases. And they keep coming and coming and coming, and now there's over 100 that are actually named, and multiple other processes that are dysfunctional that are suspected to be autoimmune diseases. What causes them? Are they things that can be avoided? And most importantly, can they be reversed? Let's talk about it.
I found this little thing. It says, imagine your body as a castle and your immune system is fighting off invaders like germs. If the army malfunctions and attacks the castle itself, you may have an autoimmune disease. It literally means that your body is attacking itself. Now, how does that happen? Oftentimes, it happens because our nutrition is so poor. We disrupt the gastrointestinal lining, and now we're leaking large protein molecules across the gut into the system, and the immune system goes crazy, and it starts to develop these things called antibodies. And these antibodies start attacking tissues. It might be your joints. It might be connective tissue. It might be your skin. It might be your bowels. It could be any number of systems that goes awry with an autoimmune condition.
So autoimmune, by very definition, is self-eating or self-consumption, meaning that your immune system has turned on itself. A lot of people kind of get confused about this and thinking it's the immune system's fault. Like, my immune system failed me. In actuality, it's not your immune system failing you. It's your immune system actually showing you that it's at work and trying to help you. But what created its confusion to where it would actually attack your own self? Well, you mentioned it. It's when the body develops that leakiness of the gut. We get that. We start eating poor foods, and stuff that's supposed to get broken down gets out into our system, and it agitates the immune system. And it's our border. It's our brush border security right here that allows stuff to come in and out appropriately. It's like your body's, patrol there that tries to stop that. Well, interestingly enough, it's like if the toll gates are blown out of a toll road, and the troopers are trying to stop everybody. Some people might be good, some people might be bad, but everybody's getting stopped. And that's like the castle of military attacking itself. So the attack on self becomes a response because the GI system went awry.
Yes, and at the root of that is this thing called inflammation. At the root of all autoimmune disease and all chronic sickness and disease is inflammation. So one of the main ways that we can take inflammation down is paying attention to our nutrition. We say this a lot: nutrition, nutrition, nutrition is the most important medical decision that you make every single day. You make it sometimes 3 times a day and 2 snacks, 365 days of the year. And if it's all inflammatory food, you are aggravating that autoimmune condition. So starting to get your nutrition under control, and then using perhaps anti-inflammatory spices, like onions, garlic, shallots, leeks, ginger, turmeric, things that aid dampening the inflammatory processes. Getting those omega-3s up there help take inflammation down. So there's a lot of things that we can do from a nutraceutical and nutritional standpoint to put autoimmune disease in remission.
When we started eating more processed foods in the early 80s with the initiation of the food pyramid, everything went crazy. We started eating more processed foods. It made our GI symptoms go in the wrong direction. It made obesity go up, cardiometabolic diseases went up, and autoimmune disease went up. So the way to fix it, and we've seen this many times, the frequency and severity of autoimmune flares goes down when a person cleans up their nutrition. Many times we've seen antibody numbers in blood labs go down when people clean up their nutrition. So did it reverse? I think so. What do you think?
It obviously went to sleep. Now, if we go back to our old ways, it can recur again, and sometimes it recurs with a vengeance. Sometimes a biologic or a medication is definitely necessary to keep those autoimmune conditions at bay. But help your system out by doing the right things, eat right, take the right nutrients, and perhaps, if you have to, you may need medication.
So the best way to deal with autoimmune conditions is to straighten up the nutrition. That in turn slows down the inflammatory foods, giving your body a chance to reverse that autoimmune condition. So how's that for some food for thought? Kingdom Candy with a K again. 2 flavors. We got salted
Delicious.
caramel and peanut butter. These are great. I mean, they're
kind of like a complete meal.
yeah, they're 200 calories. People want to know that all the time, and not that we're worried about calories, but these things have great ingredients. They're not sweetened with sugars, and they don't have those false sugars or fake sugars, artificial
They've got
sugars.
fiber in them.
They do. It's interesting. Salted caramel crunch is our newest flavor. We'll come up with some other stuff at some point, but those can bridge the gap of that sweet tooth craving. They're sweetened with monk fruit. That's really, if you know what that is, it's not going to raise blood sugar.
It's really only 2 grams of sugar. I refer to it as the sweet without the cheat.
Any of these things out here are designed to be money-saving, nutrition-giving, and life-enhancing. And this is a big deal. So you'll find out, like thousands of other people did, that these things will help you live healthy longer.
Can a shake transform your life?
If it helps you invest in your health on a daily basis, the answer is
Yes!
Kingdom Fuel is our complete nutritional meal shake.
It's the simple start to a transformed life.
We'll auto-ship every month so you don't run out.
You'll receive 2 free shaker cups, free access to our video courses, and a monthly call with us filled with practical inspiration.
Just see the link below or on your screen and subscribe today.
Let's go.